And so we'll continue with our fourth chapter of the sixth canto, sixth Sashtamaskandha and Chaturthodhyaya. And we saw the birth of Daksha. Daksha was born to Prachetas, and Prachetas is a group of 10 sons of Prachin Barhi. And then we saw how Daksha's purpose in life was to propitiate or further the creation, make it further. That was Daksha's purpose. And we saw that, when you want to create, this is called purposing your life. So when New Year comes, you all have to purpose. You have to repurpose. I want to use that word, repurpose. Repurpose instead of saying new resolutions and all that, or renewing your resolutions. You can repurpose your life for what is coming based on the experiences. So Daksha's purpose was to create and all that. So he was also married. That we'll see. Actually, it's coming up as we'll be looking into the slokas in this chapter. And you all also create. You create your dreams, right? You create a world in your dream, but that doesn't stand the test of time and space, because when you wake up, it's not there. So in order for a creation to stand somewhere, we need something solid. And so he's praying to Bhagavan to fulfill his purpose of living. And we'll see after his prayers, Bhagavan is appearing. So I'll share my screen and show to you the slokas where we are, where we can see that Bhagavan's appearance here. From sloka 35 onwards, in the fourth chapter of the sixth canto, Sri Shuka Uvacha, Ide Stuta Samstuvatah Satasmin Ghamarshane Avirasit Kurusreshta Bhagavan Bhaktavatsala. Bhagavan Narayana, who is Bhaktavatsala Mahavishnu. Bhaktavatsala is one who is like a mother for his devotees, and he appeared after Daksha completed his stuti, his praise of the Lord, and after his completion, on the banks of Agamarshana. Agamarshana is a very very sacred tirtha. Tirtha means a sacred holy place. Then what happened? Bhagavan appeared. Now, once you see Bhagavan appearing before you, it's always a wonderment to look at Bhagavan and describe him. So here the description is going on. Kritapada suparnase pralambhashta mahabhuvah bhujah chakra shankasir charmeshu dhanupasha gadadarah. So Bhagavan is standing in a very stylish pose with one leg on the floor and other leg on Garuda. So his one foot, it is like you getting out of your car. So one foot is on the floor, other foot is on the car, and then you look around. Likewise, Bhagavan is looking very elegant with one foot on Garuda. And he had four mighty shoulders. 4 shoulders, 8 arms. So 4 pairs of shoulders and 8 arms. So what all Bhagavan Sri Vishnu carried in his 8 arms? Chakra, the disc, Shankar, conch, asi, sword, charma, shield, dhanuhu, bow and arrow also, ishu, charma ishu. Ishu is arrow and dhanu is bow. Pasha, he's got a noose, he's got a rope also in his hand. Gada, a mace, Gadadhara. So so he has come with this eight limbed form, which is not very usual. पीतवासा धनश्यामः प्रसन्नवदनेक्षणः वनमाला निर्वीत अंगो लसच्छ्रीवत्स kaustubham. Pitavasa, Bhagavan Ghanashyama, his skin was all nice, of the color of dark blue skies, and on his skin he was wearing, on his body he was wearing a yellow, beautiful saffron yellow garment, Pitavasa. Prasannavadana, his face was so full of, what I should say, encouragement, enthusiasm. Prasannavadana, Ikshanaha, his eyes was pouring compassion. Vanamala, he was wearing this long mala which goes up to his knees, which had all the flowers of the forest, including lots of tulasi, so you can imagine the fragrance. And Lasat Sri Vatsa Kaustubham, and Mahalakshmi is residing always with Bhagavan Sri Narayana as a symbol, as a Rekha. Rekha is her presence in the form of a line here on his chest. Golden Rekha, golden line. Mahakirita Kadakaha, Spuran Makarakundalaha, Anchianguliyavalaye Nupurangada Bhushitaha. Bhagavan was wearing a crown which was priceless, very expensive crown. They have the crown with Kohinoor diamond, which is a point of contention between India and England. And even Pakistan, I think, is claiming for that. So you can imagine, if Bhagavan's crown is so priceless. Kataka is, Bhagavan's bracelets. And he was wearing beautiful bracelets. Puran, Makara Kundala. Makara Kundala is, beautiful earrings, which has got the shape of a very unique shape, latest design, which nobody else, even today, is wearing. It has got a shape of a crocodile. I have not seen anybody wear earrings which look like crocodile. Nobody can copy Bhagavan's style. And Kanchya golden ring, Valaya, more bangles and armlets, and what I should say, anklets, Nupura anklets, and on his kati waist also is wearing golden belt. And so he was looking so splendid. Trailokya Mohanam Rupam Vibhrat Tribhuvaneshwaraha Vruto Narada Nandadyahi Parshadai Surayuta Paihi. His form was something which can mesmerize, which can capture the attention of all the three worlds. So you want Bhagavan to be of that form. Because when only then your mind is taken away from all your problems. So you have to have Bhagavan in that kind of a form. He is competing with the world to draw your attention. So he has to stand out more than the world. That is all our Bhagavan. If you see the forms, they're all very captivating. What is the use of the form with just a beard and then, like me when I have a beard and all that. So those forms are not very, eye captivating, or a form somebody in the cross and all that. So, they have their own purpose, but here is the purpose is to take you away from all the worldly things which is bothering you, that kind of a form. Tribhuvaneshwara, Vrito, Narada, Dhruto. There is also Narada around Bhagavan, Sunanda, Nanda, and all the Parshadas. Parshadas are the servants of the Lord. Sura Yutapaihi. Even Devatas are all there. Indra, Varuna, even Shankar Bhagavan is around. Brahmaji is there. All the Devatas are also around Bhagavan. So when you ask for the Lord, everybody comes. That is a power of wishing for the Lord. So when you ask for Narayana, Lakshmi also comes along with Narayana. Shankar Bhagavan also comes with him. They're all not separate. So you have to know what to worship, which is including everything. And so that is that Bhagavan who is beyond all forms, at the same time who can take any form, you call him depending on his activities. As Shankara, one who can do all the Sham Karoti, one who can make you successful in all your endeavors. Or you call him Narayana, the one who is Antaryami in your heart. So depending on how you call, he'll appear because he's beyond all forms. And he can bring all forms also along with him, like we saw now. Stuyamano nu gayadbihi siddha gandharvacharanaihi rupam tanmahadascharya vichakshya gata sadhvasaha. Stuyamanaha anugayadbihi. So when the devatas are singing, there are also others who are adding praise to the Lord in their own ways, like Siddha, Gandharva, the celestial bodies, like celestial beings, Siddhas or the one who are accomplished. And Gandharvas are the celestial beings, they got different roles to play. Charvanaha. So Rupam Tanmahad Ascharyam, Ascharya Rupam, very indescribable form, vichakshya gata sadhvasaha. So, that kind of a very splendid form Bhagavan has got. Now Daksha is also stunned and perplexed, and he was in awe. What is this form? I never imagined I would be experiencing something like this. This is so alaukika, out of the world. Then what did he do? Nanada dandavat bhumau prahrishtatma prajapatihi na kinchano ashakat tivraya muda. He, like a stick falling on the ground. Stick, if you keep it straight, it will fall on the ground straight and it will never get up. It will fall, but it can never get up. So likewise, he has fallen on the feet of the Lord. He is unable to get up because he is so filled with ecstasy and joy, excitement, that no words are coming out of him. Apurita manodvaraihi hridinya hiva nircharaihi. Okay, this is where the shloka ends. So it is like, his senses are all filled. Like, rivers, all the small streams, when they come and join the river, that kind of makes the river swell. So the river suddenly becomes big. When all the streams all join in some place, it becomes suddenly bigger. Likewise, there's happiness oozing out of all his senses and filling him like the river is filled up with so much joy. Tam tata vanatam bhaktam praja kamam prajapatim chitta sarvabhutanam idamaha janardanaha. So looking at him, Bhagavan started speaking. He is unable to speak. Bhagavan knows that he is a very, very significant role to play. Who's got a significant role to play? Daksha Prajapati has got a very significant role to play. So knowing that, Bhagavan is now starting to speak to him because Bhagavan knows everything. Chittagnya hai. He knows what is in his mind also. Whose mind? Prajapati, Daksha Prajapati's mind. So let Bhagavan better speak. So when you go to consultation, you want the experts to speak. If you keep speaking, then you're not getting the value for your money, right? So likewise, let the expert speak, let Bhagavan speak. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Prachetas Mahabhaga Samsiddhas Tapasa Bhavan Yat Shraddhaya Matparaya Mai Bhavam Param Gatah. Hey Prachetasah, another name for Daksha, Mahabhaga, mighty armed, Samsiddhas Tapasa Bhava. You have prepared yourself with so much of penance and tapasya. Yashruddhaya Bhakparaya Mai. And your tapasya was also backed up with so much of faith and devotion. So you can be very asked. You can be very performing a lot of austerities. But if you don't have devotion behind it, if you don't have shraddha behind it, you will not be able to continue. If you don't have devotion, even then you cannot continue because you'll attribute it to yourself, and then you don't have a great self-opinion. So something goes wrong, you blame yourself also. So the devotion, he says, your tapascharya's result is your devotion for me. That wise, so if you have devotion, that means you're already enjoying the fruits of your vratas and tapas. You've been going to temples, standing in line and having devotion, having with so much faith and devotion. And now you have come back, and now you're still continuing the devotion. That is the result of your austerity. So now you have to make your devotion stronger. Now you earned the devotion. It is staying with you, but you have to make it stronger with knowledge. Ritoham te prajanath yatte syod brumhanam tapah mamaisha kamo bhutanam yadbhuyasur vibhutayah. Pritah aham. Bhagavan is saying, I'm so happy with you. Prajanatha, hey Natha, the one who is going to lead all the beings. Natha, the protector of all the beings. Bhagavan is telling to Daksha as he is a protector, because his tapasya was meant for what? Asyod bringhanam. You want to increase asya udbringhanam. You want to increase you want to bring out all the beings from the unmanifest to manifest this creation. So I'm going to help you in that. Mama yesha kamaha. Bhagavan says, even I am desirous. Bhagavan is saying that even he is so wanting the creation to come out. Yad bhuya sur vibhutayah. Look at this. This is how it's matching. When your desires match with Bhagavan's desires, you are in harmony with the entire creation. You will have the least resistance from the creation. When you want to chop off trees and kill animals and whatnot and all that, you're going against the harmony of Bhagavan's desire to create. Then what happens? It comes back on you. You start breathing all the pollution and whatnot, right? So it's always nice to be in harmony with Bhagavan's order. Then Bhagavan is helping, like he's helping Daksha. Brahma bhavo bhavantascha manavo vidudeshvarah vibhudeshvarah vibhutayo mama hyeta bhutanam bhuti hetavah. He says, Bhagavan Narayana is saying, even Brahmaji, Bhava is Shankara, Bhavantascha, all other devatas, Manavaha, the Manu, and Vibhudeshwaraha, all those other celestial beings, they all have only one goal. What is that? To help to bring out the creation and to sustain the creation. Okay? So don't think Mahavishnu's job is to create and Shankar's job is to destroy. No. Everybody wants to, help the creation, help you and everybody to come out from the unmanifest to manifest, which we've all come. Imagine yourself being so in unmanifest state. You cannot express yourself. You'll have all the desires, but no form to express. So all the devatas want to help you. in coming out from unmanifest to manifest. Okay, tapo me hridayam brahma tanur vidya kriya kritihi angani kratavo jata dharma atma sava suraha tapaha me hridayam. Bhagavan is saying, I don't have any form, I am beyond all forms. So you look at this. Bhagavan is saying, tapaha, your tapasya is my heart. He's telling to Daksha, Daksha, my heart is nothing but, my throbbing heart is nothing but your penance. When you do tapasya, my heartbeat is all normal. When everybody does, tapasya means what? Sacrifice. Sacrificing your own likes and dislikes for the sake of the greater good. That is tapasya. Then Bhagavan's heart is beating. Brahmas tanu, Brahmaha tanuhu, Vidya. Knowledge is my sharira. Vidya is my sharira. Bhagavan says knowledge. Because out of ignorance only, we are getting all these different forms. And then out of knowledge, you get the special form. Vidya, the human form. Kriya akritihi. Okay. Akritihi. So your karma is Bhagavan's hands and legs. Akriti is a form. So your sharira, all the beings' sharira is nothing. Bhagavan's sharira is nothing but your knowledge. And Bhagavan's form is your karma. Angani krata vo jata, all the limbs of Bhagavan, different angas or yajnas. So you propitiate Bhagavan with your worship. Keep on worshipping. Then that Bhagavan was got a form, a rudimentary form gets his limbs and arms like that. Right? When you do puja also, what you do? First you do Anga puja. You say that Satyanarayan Vrata, you ask Satyanarayan Bhagavan to, you do the prana pratishtha and say, Bhagavan, your Anga. So when more and more you watch these Manga, you wear your hands. Let Narayana be in your hands. Let Vamadeva be in your heart. Like that you do different avahana. So the more you worship, the more avahana of all Bhagavans, different limbs, they all come into being. Jata dharma. Bhagavan's mind is dharma. So always thinking of how to help. Atma savaha suraha. Then devata pranaha. All asavaha means prana shakti. Bhagavan's prana shakti is all the devatas. So Bhagavan is describing himself like this. Ahameva samevagre nanyat kinchan taram bahihi sanjnana matram avyaktam prasuptamiva vishvatah. Ahameva asam eva gre. Bhagavan says, at the beginning of the creation, there was only the Lord. So there was only Bhagavan at the beginning of the creation, which means what? Bhagavan is going to be the one who's going to be always there in the creation. Because at the beginning there was only water and then they become waves. So water is never going to disappear. As long as you see waves, there is water. So likewise, Bhagavan has been there as a fundamental cause as a upadana karana, as a material cause for the entire creation right from the beginning. He's not any kinchan taram bahi. There was no inside and outside. It was all Bhagavan. Lord is saying that. Sanjnana matram avyaktam. How is that possible? Because when you dream, the dream world is not outside your consciousness. It is actually within your consciousness. It is consciousness, not away from consciousness. Likewise, that is the only way where everything can have that kind of a cause. So Bhagavan says, I am samjnana matram. I am the consciousness. Avyaktam, I am unmanifest. Prasuptamiva vishvatah. I'm as though, sleeping in all of you. I'm as though residing in all of you, as though like a quiet being, like a sleeping individual. Mayananta guno nante gunato guna vigraha yadasi tata evadyaha swayam bhu samabhutaiha. But Bhagavan is not sleeping. He is the cause for all your gunas, all your sattva, rajas, tamas, everything which is coming to manifest. He is a reason for that. But he is beyond all that also, Anantaha. So all Bhagavan's description is like this. He is beyond all forms, beyond all glories. At the same time, he can take any form, and all glories belong to Bhagavan. That is how he is describing here. Yadasi tata evadya swayambhu samabhutayah. So whatever you see here, Bhagavan says it is out of his own Shakti. The invisible Shaktis, Bhagavan Shakti has become this creation, including Brahma. Swayambhu is Brahmaji. Savai yada Mahadevah mama viryopabrihitah mene khila mivatmanam udyuta sarga karmani. So I'll just finish this chapter. There are only a few more slokas. Quickly, I'll complete this. So, Savai yada Mahadevah viryopa. Bhagavan is whatever the Shakti Brahmaji had for creation, Shakti and Spurti, the Prerana, the thought of creation and the power behind is all the Lord. But Sarga Karmani, Mene, but they were not very efficient. Brahmaji was not very efficient. He didn't know what to do. Brahmaji was looking at all the four directions. That is how they say he got the four heads. As we saw in the Bhagavatam in the very beginning, Brahma was clueless. He didn't know what to do, how to create. So he looked at this direction, there's and behind. So they say that is how he got the four heads. That is one reason. They also say the four heads are representing the four Vedas. Here Bhagavan is saying he didn't know what to do. Atame avihito devah tapo tapyata darunam nava vishvasrujo yushman yenada vasrujat vibhuhu. So Bhagavan said to Brahmaji, hey, do tapascharya, do tapa, do Brahmaji, do lot of penance. Then you will get the clarity. I am with you. You just have to do the tapascharya. You have to do a lot of penance. And then that is how the Prajapatis were created, the 9 Prajapatis. Okay. Yesha pancha janas yange angda duhita vai Prajapatehe, including Daksha. That is how Daksha came into being. Asikni nama patni tve prajesha pratigruhyata. Bhagavan is saying, I'm going to marry you. I'm going to get you married. Bhagavan is getting Daksha married to this woman called Asikni, Devata called Asikni. She is the daughter of Panchajanaha. Panchajana's daughter is married to Prajapati so that he can create. So Bhagavan now onwards he wants no more creation of the mind. He wants real creation. So real creation of beings take place when the men and women come together, right? So that is how Bhagavan wants the creation to continue. मिथुनव्यवाय धर्मस्त्वं प्रजा सर्गमिमं पुनः मिथुनव्यवाय धर्मिण्यां भूरिशो भूभावयिष्यामि. So he's saying, create, unlike the Devatas, now Prajapati, you create, you get married, you have children, like you are going to be having that desire to create. Even your wife, Asikni, she will also have the similar desire. So when you have similar desire, you can come together and create people who are very noble, and you get the Arya Vamsha and all the Kulas, the Dravidiya Kula. You can create all the beings. त्वत्तोधस्तात् प्रजा सर्वाः मिथुनी भूयमायया मदीयया भविष्यन्ति हरिष्यन्ति च मे बलिम्. Tvattah, from you, adhasthat, from now onwards, Prajapati, you are the first one who's getting married and going to have children. And from now onwards, that will be the process of everybody getting children and propitiating the creation. And I will be the power behind all of this. And once the beings are created, they will serve my purpose. And they will serve the Lord's purpose. Sri Shuka Uvacha, final sloka, Ityuktva Mishatastasya Bhagavan Vishwabhavanaha Swapnopalabdhartha iva tatraivantar dade harihi. So Bhagavan, after saying so much, getting him married and giving him the powers, disappeared in no time. And for Prajapati, Daksha, it was like, as if a dream, suddenly, the dream were disappearing. Likewise, Bhagavan, once he is done, is going away. इति श्रीमद् भागवते महापुराणे परमहंसायां संहितायां षष्ठम स्कंदे चतुर्थोऽध्यायः. So this is the fourth chapter's completion of the sixth canto. So we'll all chant Sri Haraye Namaha and conclude here. Sri Haraye Namaha, Sri Haraye Namaha, Sri Haraye Namaha, Sri Haraye Namaha. Sarvatra Govinda Nama Sankirtanam, Govinda, Govinda. So next chapter we'll see next week. As you can see the title here, श्री नारद जी के उपदेश से दक्ष पुत्रों की विरक्ति तथा नारद जी को दक्ष का शाप. So now Daksha wanted to create, he created his children, but they're all meeting Narad ji, Narada, and the Narada, due to Narada's advice, they are wanting to seek self-knowledge, they wanted to take to a life of sannyasa, and hence Narada is getting cursed. Shapa of Daksha towards Narada. All that we'll see when we come back. See, the story means it has got a lot of twists. So I'm just giving you a prelude of what's coming up. I'll stop the screen here. I'll just continue with the maybe a few minutes with Bhagavan Sri Krishna's Leela. We said how Bhagavan Sri Krishna has got Mati. He's got sand in his mouth. Vraj Raja. Vraja is the land where Bhagavan is there, right? Vrindavan, Vraja. Raja is the sand or dirt that is in Bhagavan's mouth. So we saw what does that Leela mean in so many different ways. Bhagavan always eats butter. What happens when you eat butter? Your hand becomes so sticky, right? So your hand becomes so sticky. What do you do to remove your hand becoming so greasy? You would apply some soap. So in those days, Mati was a soap. So Bhagavan was eating, he was using Mati to cleanse his hands. Maybe that is how Bhagavan got some sand in his mouth also. And also in the Putana Vada, when Bhagavan killed Putana, without Bhagavan's knowledge, some poison entered Bhagavan, right? So how do you cleanse the poison? So when somebody drinks poison, you know what they do? If you take them to the emergency, what they do? They first give something to purge. Purgative, they say. Purgative or purgative. So that they give. So that is also like a poison only. That creates a lot of loose motion. Okay. So poison has gone inside. So you have to take it out. So now what Bhagavan does, because he has taken the poison of Putana's milk, Bhagavan has to cleanse it. So he's taking some Raja, the sand, and he's putting in his mouth. Because sometimes something bad like poison has to be removed by something inedible, like castor oil. If you take castor oil is not edible. In those days they do. They take some castor oil to cleanse all that is bad in the system. Castor oil. So likewise, Bhagavan took some earth, Vrajaraja. They also say Bhagavan took some earth, Vrajaraja, because all the devatas are within Bhagavan. All the devatas in the Swargadi Loka, in all those different lokas, abodes, they're all waiting to have the experience of the sand of the Vrajbhumi, because Bhagavan has walked, Bhagavan has crawled on all four in that Vrajbhumi. Even today you can go to Vrajbhumi. Not the Vrajbhumi in Pennsylvania. You can go there also. But I'm talking about the Raman Ki Reti. Raman Ki Reti is the place in Vrindavan where you can experience the place where Bhagavan has played with with his hands and legs. So it's a divine experience. You can also touch that same sand where Bhagavan Sri Krishna had played, and you can put it to your eyes. So all the devatas want to do that. How can they do? They're all sitting there in their own lokas. They don't want to give up their lokas. So Bhagavan said, all the devatas are within me, so I am taking this Raj. So they also get the Raj of Raj. Raj means the sand from Raj Bhumi. In Bhumi, in Raj, Raman Kireti, there's a beautiful ashram. Our Usha Ben's guru is there, right? Uh, Guru Sharanand Maharaj, very popular. And he's got like hundreds and hundreds of, he takes care of so many animals also there. The kutiyas, the whole place is very beautiful. It's a huge area, and he's taking care of that with his disciples. He's a great Mahatma. Our Swami Vritatmanji and Swami Pratyagaatma, they got very high regards for Guru Sharananji. He was a chief guest for Swami Vritatmanji's 80th birthday. Swami Vritatmanji spoke to him, and he had some questions which Swami Vritatmanji shared the answers with all of us. Nice satsang they all had. So what I'm trying to say is that is the power of the Raj of the Raj. And so Bhagavan needs some Rajas also. If you only be pure Sattva, there's only Sattva, the power of knowing and appreciating and understanding, analysis and all that. You cannot kill the Asuras. So Bhagavan needs some Rajas. So Raj is helping to Bhagavan to bring some Rajas to him. Not such Sattva, some Rajas also is required. So that way Raj is there. Then the Bhumi, the Dharti is also called Rasa. Rasa means swad, taste. The Rasatala, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Talatala, Patala, right? Mahatala. All these 7 lokas are there, all the underworld. So that is why the Bhumi is also called Rasatala. Under the earth is Rasatala. So Bhagavan wanted to say, what is the rasa in this earth? Another name for earth is also Kshama. Bhagavan says, I want some Kshama because nobody's going to believe, nobody's going to think, I want nobody to know that I'm the Lord. So if Bhagavan takes some Kshama, Dharti, even if somebody, while playing, somebody is pushing Bhagavan, somebody is tripping and making Bhagavan fall, somebody is, holding Bhagavan so tight, and somebody is, yelling at Bhagavan and all that. So, when you hear all that, you need some patience. And the earth is known for being so patient. So, earth's one name is Kshama, Kshma or Kshama. So, that way also to bring some more Kshama in his heart, Bhagavan says, I'll eat some earth. So likewise, this Leela goes on and on. Even just Mati, Bhagavan has taken. We have not yet come to the point where Maya, mother, is asking the Bhagavan to open his mouth. Even before that, we are seeing so much of different takes, different viewpoints or takes of why Bhagavan took Vraj. So that is how Mahatmas are, they don't need avatar of Bhagavan to come and, to experience. They bring out all the experience. They bring in more and more Ishvara Bhagavan in their lives by looking at all these different ways of Bhagavan's Leela. So we'll continue that also when we come back next week. Here, I would like to stop and ask Vidyul to